talking about some really interesting information that came out last night here for Fortnite Battle Royale. So as you guys can see, on Fortnite's Twitter or X account, we've got a really interesting little 5-second or so teaser promoting Chapter 7. Now, the tweet reads, "The island has a new problem, a big one." So as you guys can see, I'll just make this video full screen so as you guys can see it. So we've got this really interesting skin, black and gold or black and yellow skin, which looks pretty interesting. But if you look in the actual faceplate or his helmet, you can actually make out the gold cube or the queen cube or the cube queen, whatever you want to call her. But that is really interesting to see that rotating in the helmet. So this could potentially end up being a Battle Pass skin. Then also, top left, we've got the bride from the Kill Bill franchise, which is really interesting. The top two middle skins, I'm not 100% sure if they're from a specific collaboration or they just have to be Epic's own Battle Pass skins, which is what I'm leaning towards at the moment. So that's really interesting. Also got this tiger looking skin, lion looking skin, bottom left corner there. Very, very interesting to hear what you guys' opinions are of that. And next to that we've got the battle bus and what appears to be an image of the island. And it looks like somebody or something is targeting the battle bus by the looks of it. So as you guys can see, we've got those crosshairs. So somebody, I'm guessing this guy in front and centre, appears to be targeting the battle bus. Or it could potentially be representing potentially the imagined order. So that is really interesting to think about there, guys. Let me know what you guys' opinions are of that in the comments box down below. Top right, if I'm not mistaken, I've been told online is Marty McFly. So that is really interesting to see him as a skin coming to presumably the Battle Pass in Fortnite. He may end up being the secret skin, but we'll have to wait and see. And got two further skins, bottom right corner there. Very, very interesting to hear what you guys' opinions are of that in the comments box down below. Also, I've been reliably informed that if you guys look in the top right image with Marty McFly, just over his left shoulder, or right shoulder to us, is what appears to be the clock tower from Tilted Towers. So that is really interesting to think about there, guys. Really keen to hear what you guys' opinions are of that in the comments box down below. So, but if you guys pay attention to that bottom middle image with the battle bus and the crosshairs there, just underneath that you can more or less make out a distant view of what could potentially be the Chapter 7 island. So that is really interesting to think about there, guys. And if you look on the computers, literally in front of the screens at the bottom of the screen, you can actually make out one specific image, which is the 7's icon. So that is, or the 7's emblem, whatever you want to call it. So that is really interesting to think about. Let me know what you guys' opinions are of that in the comments box down below. Also, coming from Sheena on Twitter or X, another Fortnite news guy and data miner. We've got some really interesting collaborations coming. So we've got Lisa, which we already know about. Kill Bill, of course, we've seen the bride from that promotional teaser just a second ago. Ninjago, South Park, which I've been told is actually happening. Harry Potter, which has been heavily rumoured, so that is really interesting. Playboy Carti, who Fortnite have actually confirmed that on Instagram. Back to the Future, obviously with that aforementioned skin in the top right corner of that video. So that's really interesting. I've also got interesting ones like Paramount sidekicks. So I'm guessing Paramount Films going to be getting some sidekicks to fight alongside us, I suppose. So that's really interesting. A Christmas version of Hatsune Miku. So that is really interesting to think about. SpongeBob SquarePants, heavily rumoured. Return of Arcane's V and Arcane Jinx. I think it came out from numerous chapters ago, and I think the people who develop Arcane decided against continuing collaborations for whatever reason. But it looks like they're starting that again, so that is really interesting to think about. And a new game mode, collaborating with the Warner Brothers, people who've basically created Bugs Bunny, for example, Daffy Duck. So that is really interesting. Roadrunner, I would love to see. Maybe Wile E. Coyote as a skin, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Gameplay, surfing or surfboarding apparently is going to be a feature. Self-reviving. Now, don't forget there are those drivable reboot vans as well. Simple building. Gambler shotgun. I'm not quite sure how that's essentially working at the moment, but new storm rework. Now, apparently, if you paid attention yesterday, there was like about 56-minute time frame where the zones, instead of being a circular shaped zone as normal, it was actually turned into like a number 7 shaped zone. So that is really interesting. There was a little, I think that got suddenly removed after about 56 minutes or so, from my understanding. A new Battle Royale map, obviously. Play as a boss feature, very, very interesting to think about. A flying mechanic or wingsuit, which I did bring up in one of my previous videos. A huge Lego Ninjago update. Potential solo versus bots mode. Not quite sure what that's about, but that's interesting to think about there. Updated gameplay user interface design. Now, we did get a little quick sneak peek from certain content creators who attended somewhere in Las Vegas, I've been told, who got to play Chapter 7 early. A USA West Coast themed map. So that's going to be interesting there. Tilted Towers elements, as aforementioned from that just recent teaser that we got yesterday for the Battle Pass. We actually saw the Tilted Towers clock tower in the background. Area 51 casino and water park POIs. Obviously, we got that teaser from the other day showing certain POIs that we're going to expect to see soon. Fortnite OG Season 7 coming in December. Now, don't forget the snow part of the map, which was currently in the background of the map, way outside the map at the moment. We are expecting Season 7 to kick off more or less at the same time as Chapter 7. So that's really interesting there. Huge Winterfest update coming in December. That's going to be really exciting to look forward to. And new weapons, including a scoped AR, a Uzi, for those who are Call of Duty fans will know what an Uzi SMG is, and more. Storyline will involve The Last Reality, once again. I don't know why I said Imagined Order earlier, but I think that's more or less who I meant. The Last Reality is apparently going to be returning. The Seven, of course. And the Ice King, presumably, I think that's going to be related to OG, but we'll have to wait and see on that one. And huge Chapter 7 event, of course, on Saturday on the 29th of November. So very, very interested to hear what you guys' views and opinions are of this in the comments box down below. And finally, we've got some really interesting information coming from Unreal Hybrid on Twitter or X, who's put out this really interesting 6-7 teaser as we move from Chapter 6 over to Chapter 7. So I'm just going to put this little video on screen. There's no audio, I believe, in the background of this. But as you guys can see, Chapter 6 and the 6 moves away, fades off into a 7. So that is really interesting. We could pretend, I would like to see a 6-7 skin come into Fortnite, but let me know what you guys' views and opinions are of that in the comments box down below. Really keen to hear what you guys' views and opinions are of that. And just a couple more things here for you guys. Now, first of all, this information originally came from Lula World on Twitter or X. A Chiro's skin, apparently, might drop in Chapter 7, and it's been upscaled to improve visibility, although some things might differ. Now, this is what the original post looked like, apparently. So, as you guys can see, we've got like a churro, which is kind of like, I've had churros before. They kind of taste like, I think probably the best way of describing it is if you think about how a breadstick works and then change it into a donut and put the two together. So that's kind of like quite interesting to think about. But I don't know, this guy in the comments actually made a good point. What does that look like a beer? I see what you mean by that, but that's what it looks like upscaled. Very, very interesting to hear what you guys' opinions are of that. And also, Not Parlo Leaks has put out a really interesting post here. 3 days to finish Chapter 6. Remember that you can create an image for your profile with any skin or companion and be ready for the new chapter. So apparently I've had a look at this, and it looks like it might actually be legit. But I've just selected Jonesy here in the Fortnite F1 skin. And apparently you can change like various different things like backgrounds and things like that apparently. So very, very interested to hear what you guys' views and opinions are of this in the comments box down below. Can I move this? Whoops. I'm sure that probably means download or upload, I guess. It looks like there are only a certain few available to this, but from what it appears anyway. So as you guys can see, we've got various different things like the pig from the Simpsons franchise. I'm pretty sure most of you guys will be familiar with that. I always forget that guy's name. Very, very intrigued. We've also got like Lisa Simpson. We've got some of the default skins. Can we move this down? Does that just download? Okay. Not quite sure how that works, but apparently you can search like various different ones as well. Can we put Jonesy? Alright, so you can like search whatever skin you want, and then you can equip it to, I'm guessing, like an avatar, I guess? So, very, very keen to hear what you guys' views and opinions are of this in the comments box down below. Really keen to hear what you guys' views and opinions are. And finally, just as a reminder here, guys, the chapter finale live event for Fortnite 0 Hour is going to be kicking off this Saturday, November 29th, at 11 AM Pacific Time, 2 PM Eastern, 7 PM UK. If you want to know any other certain time zone, let me know in the comments and I'll update you. Anyone who's interested in that. And if you do try to purchase anything within the item shop, so whether it be the Tighty Whitey's Home Simpson bundle, completely naked version, I'm not quite sure what that's about, but Itchy and Scratchy from The Simpsons, there's also Hatsune Miku is also available there, Battle Bus bundle, Stranger Things, anything like that. Make sure you guys use my support creator code DeathMonkey992. Just to spare after every 2 weeks, make sure you guys keep putting it back in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.